The hum of the monitors is the only thing keeping me company tonight. It's a low, steady drone, like a mechanical heartbeat. Outside my control room, the Maple Grove Galleria is a tomb. 270,000 square feet of polished linoleum, shuttered storefronts, and darkness. My kingdom. I'm Daniel Price, 32 years old. I've been the night security here for 4 years. It's not a bad gig, if you don't mind the solitude. Most nights, the most exciting thing that happens is a malfunctioning soda machine in the food court, or a possum setting off the motion sensors near the service entrance. I take a sip of lukewarm coffee from my thermos and scan the wall of screens. 16 cameras, each showing a slice of the sleeping mall. Camera 1, main entrance, empty. Camera 4, the grand carousel, the painted horses frozen in their eternal gallop. Camera 9, north corridor, a long stretch of dimness. Everything is still, the way it should be. My eyes drift to the digital clock on the main console. 3:31 a.m. The witching hour. That's what the old-timers call it. The time when the world is asleep and other things aren't. I lean forward, my chair groaning in protest. Out of habit, I start my visual patrol again. Camera 1, clear. Camera 2, clear. My gaze slides over camera 7. It's the feed for the basement corridor. A useless camera, really. It points down a short, dead-end hallway leading to a pair of sealed fire doors. Nothing's down there but dust and the low thrum of the building's HVAC system. The image is always a bit grainier than the others, the colors washed out. Tonight, it's different. A figure is standing in the middle of the basement corridor. I jolt upright, my heart doing a sudden, hard thump against my ribs. The coffee in my stomach turns to acid. I lean in, squinting. The feed is flickering, swimming with static, but it's clear enough. A person. They're standing perfectly still, facing the far wall. Their back to the camera. They're tall, wearing what looks like a dark, long coat. I can't make out any details. What the hell? I mutter to the empty room. My first, rational thought is an intruder. Some drunk or kid who found a way in. But how? That corridor is a dead end. The fire doors have been sealed for years, ever since I started working here. There's no way in or out. I grab the radio. Control to base. I've got a possible 10 to 90 in the basement corridor, camera 7. Investigating. It's a formality. There's no one else on the frequency to hear me. My eyes dart to the timestamp in the corner of the monitor. It reads 03:33:00. It stays there. The seconds aren't ticking forward. The flickering gets worse. A rapid strobe of clean image and fizzing white noise. In the clear moments, the figure remains. Unmoving. No, not movement. A reset. The timestamp blinks, vanishes, and reappears. 03:33:00. It does it again and again. The figure is a constant, a statue in the storm of digital corruption. This isn't right. This isn't some drunk. I push myself out of the chair, my legs feeling unsteady. I grab my heavy mag light and keys, the metal jangling loudly in the tense silence. I leave the control room, the door clicking shut behind me, and step into the mall proper. The air is cooler out here. The only light comes from the emergency exit signs, casting a sickly green glow. My footsteps echo off the high ceilings as I make my way to the service stairs that lead down to the basement level. The air grows colder with each step down. It smells of damp concrete and old electricity. I push open the heavy door to the basement corridor. The lights are motion activated, and they flicker on with a dull buzz. The hallway is exactly as it is on the monitor, about 30 feet long, ending in the two large metal fire doors, sealed with a heavy crossbar and a rusted padlock. Exposed pipes run along the ceiling. It's empty. I sweep my flashlight beam from one end to the other. Nothing. No one. The padlock on the fire door is undisturbed, coated in a fine layer of dust. "Hello?" I call out, my voice bouncing off the concrete walls. "Security." Silence. Thick and absolute. A chill, unrelated to the temperature, crawls up my spine. I saw him. I know I did. He was right there. I walk the length of the corridor, running my hand along the cold wall. Solid. Unbroken. There are no alcoves, no doors, nowhere to hide. It was a glitch. It had to be. A problem with the camera or the feed. My mind, tired and bored, playing tricks on me. The 333 thing got to me. That's all. Feeling foolish, but still unsettled, I turn and head back to the control room. The walk back feels longer, the shadows between the exit signs deeper, more concealing. I'm relieved when I see the warm glow of my monitors through the control room window. I slide back into my chair, the familiar squeak a small comfort. My eyes immediately go to camera 7. The figure is still there, but he's moved. He's no longer facing the wall at the end of the corridor. He's turned 180 degrees. He's now facing the camera, his features still a blurry smudge in the poor resolution and static. And he's closer. Much closer. As if he's taken several steps forward while I was away. The timestamp is still frozen at 3:33:00. My blood runs cold. I can't breathe. I stare, frozen, as the static crackles across the screen. The figure just stands there, a silent, dark sentinel in a hallway I just confirmed was empty. Then, the feed cuts out entirely, replaced by a blue screen that reads, "No signal." A second later, it snaps back to normal. The basement corridor is empty again. The timestamp reads 03:34:17. The seconds ticking forward like nothing ever happened. I don't move for a long, long time. I just sit there, listening to the frantic hammering of my own heart. I almost called in sick. I spent the whole day tossing and turning, seeing that static-filled figure every time I closed my eyes. But what would I say? "Sorry, boss. I'm scared of a ghost on a CCTV monitor." I've got bills to pay, so I came back. The night has been normal, tense, but normal. I've been avoiding looking at camera 7, my eyes skittering away from it like it's a live snake. But I can't help myself. Every few minutes, I sneak a glance. It's been showing an empty, quiet corridor. I'm watching it now. My palms are sweating. I've got my personal cell phone out, the camera app open, pointed at the monitor. If something happens tonight, I'm getting proof. Right on time. The flickering starts. The timestamp resets. 03:33:00. And he's back. The figure is in the same spot he was in last night when I returned to the control room. Close to the camera, facing it directly. The static is worse, distorting his shape, making him seem to waver in and out of existence. "Okay, you bastard," I whisper, my thumb hovering over the record button. "Show me what you are." I press record. The phone screen shows the monitor, the figure clear as day. I feel a grim sense of victory. Got you. And then the figure moves. It's a small, deliberate motion. Its arm, at least, I think it's an arm, rises from its side. It's a stiff, jerky movement, like a puppet on a string. The hand, a blur of pale pixels, opens. And then it begins to wave. A slow, side-to-side wave. The kind of wave you'd give to someone you know from a distance. My blood turns to ice water. The phone slips from my numb fingers and clatters onto the console. I don't bother picking it up. I know what I'll find. I grab it. The video file is there, but when I try to play it, an error message pops up. File format corrupted or not supported. I stare back at camera 7. The figure is still waving. The timestamp is still 03:33:00. Then, the lights in the control room die. Not just the lights, the monitors, the console, everything. The room is plunged into a deep, suffocating blackness. The hum of the electronics vanishes, leaving a ringing silence in its wake. I sit there, blind and deaf, my heart pounding in my ears. This has never happened before. The mall has a backup generator. After what feels like an eternity, but is probably only 10 seconds, the power returns with a sudden surge. The monitors blink back on. The console lights up. I look at camera 7. It's normal. The corridor is empty. The timestamp reads 03:34:05. All the other cameras are back online. Except for one. Camera 7 is the only feed that never went to no signal during the blackout. It was the only thing still broadcasting. I've started a separate log, a personal one. The official security log just says, "Brief power interruption, all systems nominal." What else could I write? I came armed tonight. A fresh phone, a digital recorder, even an old Polaroid camera I found at a thrift store. I feel like a crazy person, but the feeling of being watched, of being known, has sunk its hooks deep into me. The night progresses with a terrible inevitability. I watch the clock. each minute dragging us closer to 3:33. I have my phone pointed at the monitor for camera 7. The digital recorder is running on the console. I'm breathing too fast. The flicker. The reset. The figure appears. He's closer still. So close I can almost make out details in the static that might be a face. But the image is different tonight. It's not just the basement corridor. Overlaid on top of it, transparent like a double-exposed photograph, is another image. It's the control room. I see myself from behind, sitting in my chair, just like I am now. I see the back of my own head, my shoulders. And on the wall of monitors in the image, I see camera 7, which is showing this exact same layered feed. It's an infinite, dizzying recursion. And then I see myself, on the monitor, reach for my coffee mug. In real life, my hand twitches. The thought of a sip of coffee, the bitter, stale dregs of it, flashes through my mind. A second later, my real hand moves, reaching for the mug. The me on the screen is a few seconds ahead of the me in the chair. The figure in the corridor is just watching, a silent spectator to this breach in causality. I drop the phone. I can't process this. It's showing me the future, my future, my own preordained actions. The power dies. The blackout is absolute. In the darkness, I hear a new sound, faint but clear, coming from the speakers on the console. A dry, rustling whisper that seems to form words. Late. The power returns. The monitors flash. Camera 7 is empty. My phone's recording is, predictably, corrupted. The digital recorder has captured nothing but 3 minutes of blank audio. I don't sleep that day. I go to the public library and pull up old newspaper archives on the microfiche. It takes me hours, but I find it. A small article from 1978. The Maple Grove Galleria was built on the site of an older department store called Kendall's Emporium. There was a fire. A bad one. It started in the basement. The article says the basement level was completely sealed with concrete after the tragedy, deemed too structurally unsound to rebuild. The new mall was built right on top of it. There is no basement corridor, not a real one. The camera they call Camera 7 is pointed at a blank concrete wall that seals off the old, burned-out husk of Kendall's Emporium. So what the hell have I been looking at? What the hell have I been walking into? This is my last night. I've already decided. I can't come back here. I brought a backpack with me. A powerful LED lantern, a crowbar, a bottle of water. I'm not just going to watch tonight. I'm going down there. I have to know. The air in the mall feels heavy, charged. The silence is no longer peaceful. It's a held breath. The monitors show empty corridors, but I feel like the emptiness is a lie. Something is waiting. I take the crowbar and slip out of the control room. I don't bother with the radio. I head straight for the basement stairs. The cold hits me like a physical wall. The motion-activated lights don't turn on. I click my mag light. The beam is strong, cutting a swath through the profound darkness. I stand in front of the door to the basement corridor. My heart is a drum solo in my chest. I pull out my company tablet. It's synced to the CCTV system. The screen shows all 16 cameras. All of them are dark, displaying no signal. All except one. Camera 7. It's showing this hallway. From its perspective, I'm in the frame. I see my own back, the beam of my flashlight illuminating the sealed fire doors. It's a live feed, but it's also not. The timestamp is wrong. It reads 0331:15. It's from a few minutes ago. I jam the crowbar into the narrow gap between the door and its frame. The metal shrieks in protest. I put all my weight into it, my muscles straining. With a final, groaning crack, the door swings inward, sending a cloud of ancient dust billowing out into the hallway. The air that washes over me is hot and dry, and it smells of smoke and old, burned things. It's the smell of a fire that went out decades ago. I raise my flashlight, my tablet gripped in my other hand. The beam plays over a nightmare. This isn't a clean concrete corridor. This is a charred ruin. The walls are blackened and blistered. Lumps of melted plastic and wire are scattered across the floor. As my light passes over them, I realize they are mannequins. Their forms are twisted and grotesque, fused together in agonized poses. Among the debris, I see the scorched shells of old, bulky CCTV cameras, their lenses melted shut. This is the real basement, the one they sealed up.